So Manchester City takes on Liverpool in the Community Shield. It was a match that was fought all the way until penalties, and ultimately Manchester City became the champions. I thought Liverpool were gonna win. I thought like their style of play was better. I kind of root for them a little bit more than Manchester City. I like both styles. Don't get me wrong. I like both teams. But I feel like there was some mistakes. Liverpool wasn't as clinical as they are known to be. They weren't really able to get shots on goal as well. And I felt like Sadio Mane was a main contributing factor to these missed chances and things like that. Towards the beginning of the games, Leroy Sané had a chance at goal towards the early minutes of the game, where he actually hit it wide. Manchester City won the ball back in Liverpool's box, and I think Raheem Sterling put a through ball towards Leroy Sané, which he hit first time, but the ball was going very wide and he barely had an angle to shoot at, so he basically hit the side netting. The bad part was that in a foul that Leroy Sané actually received, he got injured, and ultimately he was taken out of the game and Gabriel Jesus was put on. And it's sad to see, him be held off like this. I feel like this could maybe stop them rumors of linking him with Bayern Munich. If this is a serious injury, I'm not too sure what happened. I don't know if it was like a tear or if it was like some type of just a hit where he's just gonna be out a few months or things like that. But it may stop the rumors. It probably won't affect Manchester City as much because they have so much quality on the bench to begin with. They have so much depth in this team that like having a someone like Leroy Sané be on your bench, like that's crazy, for another team who doesn't have that luxury of having these type of players in their team. But Liverpool also got a really good chance. I remember in the first half where Firmino like did this, the karate kicks where he like received the ball. He did a little sombrero or a little chip over two players, and he just turned around and hit that first time. But Claudio Bravo was able to just deal with that easily. But also I felt like Mohamed Salah was very involved in the play. He was really effective on that right side. Shevchenko was kind of caught out of position a lot of times, as well as Liverpool. Liverpool's fullbacks took a while to get into the game. Mohamed Salah had a few chances. A lot of them were not even on target. I think he didn't even hit one shot on target in the first half as well. And I mean, that took a toll on him. He was more effective trying to get shots on target in the second half, but I felt a pattern going where Manchester City's midfield was mostly conducting the pace of the game. They mostly had the ball the whole time. Their new signing, Rodrigo, in my opinion, he looked pretty good. He looks pretty positive on the ball. He looks confident as well. And he did have a few mistakes where Liverpool did get the ball, and since they're so fast on the counter as well, with players like Mohamed Salah or even Roberto Firmino, they could try to be clinical. But ultimately, Manchester City did end up getting their goal. I think it was like by a set piece where Shevchenko put it in, and then David Silva, I don't know if he was aware, if he just heard Raheem Sterling calling for the ball. He basically just hit it one time, like over another player, and then ended up just bouncing up towards Raheem Sterling, who didn't even think about it twice, and he just put it in the back of the net. And that was just all he needed. I felt like Alisson in this play could actually did more. He actually probably could have got it because he actually had like two swings of his hands. He like swung his hand one time, but because he miscalculated where the ball was in that instance, he couldn't actually take the ball out, or even, I don't know, I guess he should have received the ball. It was kind of hard to deal with it, but I mean, he did the best in the situation. Raheem Sterling basically hit it under his legs, and that like made the ball bounce in a weird way, and I don't know, I guess Alisson wanted to hit it out instead of actually grabbing it, and I felt like if he would have grabbed it in this instance, maybe it wouldn't have been a goal. But it doesn't take anything away from Raheem Sterling. He did good in that instance, and he was quick to think and quick to just basically put the ball in on target, because sometimes it really doesn't take that much. It just takes just putting it on target, and maybe luck will help you in that instance. Pep Guardiola also was very influential in the game, like he always is. He's always involved in what's going on in the game, and he was letting the refs know how he felt on certain tackles or certain things that were happening in the game. And he ended up getting a yellow card towards like the latter parts of the first half. And then basically in the second half, Liverpool became more loose. They were more involved in the play. Their fullbacks also got more involved in the play. Roberto Firmino was also trailing more back to try to receive the ball as well. And you could see he was going against Rodrigo in some instances, or in some plays he was trying to get in the midfield. Another chance that Liverpool had towards the second half, towards like the beginning, was a Virgil van Dijk shot on goal, which I think came from a corner where he hit it like first time with his foot, and it went towards like the first post. It kind of looked like it bounced in, but with goal line technology, it ultimately ended up being not allowed, or not being said to be a goal. I think the decision was right, and they got it right, but it kind of sucks, because it seems like that instance where they played that last season towards March, which was basically the game that defined Manchester City winning the league, because after that both teams ended up winning like almost every single game they were in, or at least tying, not losing any points. And it was just that little few millimeters of the ball being still on the line that made Manchester City champions, basically. And it was just that save by who was it, Stones. But as well, like I said, the fullback started getting more involved in the play. Liverpool also looked more active in the second half. They looked more loose, and they looked to have the ball and have more control of the ball in the second half. And Manchester City's control didn't have as much control as they did in the first half. There was a few changes with Naby Keita, and I think they took Trent off, and they put Joe Gomez back on the right, and they put Matip in the middle. But that ultimately ended up good in their favor. There was another instance where I think there was a foul committed to Divock Origi by Kyle Walker, where he won the ball, but the ref let it go on. And then he got the ball, I think, to De Bruyne, where De Bruyne kind of stalled, and he looked for a pass, giving a really good pass. I felt like this was another thing that Liverpool was lacking. They weren't really trailing back, and they weren't really looking behind them to see that a Manchester City player was always in position to receive the ball and on sides and things like that. And Raheem Sterling had a chance to basically make it 2-0 in this instance right here in the 60th minute. And I don't know, I guess he kind of got confused because Kyle Walker was running in behind him, and he was yelling at him, and I guess he wanted his goal and he wanted to be generous, but ultimately Alisson got the ball in that instance. But after that, like, I think a few minutes had passed, and then Liverpool was ultimately ended up tying the game with a Matip goal, a header that was crossed in by Virgil van Dijk. I think it was like a set piece crossed into him, and he basically received the ball and he just put it in the air, and Matip not being marked, Otamendi ultimately ended up marking, or just getting on Roberto Firmino, and Matip was basically alone. And he just headed that ball in easily. It was basically an easy goal for him, but it gave the confidence to Liverpool, and it gave them the not being pressured anymore as like they were throughout basically the whole game. It took that pressure off them just now, knowing that they were equalized. And it's pretty cool to see the center backs being the main protagonists, and in the play development and in the goal. But towards the ending parts, Mohamed Salah had a few chances on goal, but one of the best chances right before the whole game ended was from Kyle Walker, where he basically got this ball that Mohamed Salah Like you could see, I have like the replay right here where he basically hit it out. He had like a little bicycle kick, a little chilena, right in front of the goal just to take the ball out. But it was amazing. I don't know. It was a lot of skill. You know, you can see him right here. Gets that first shot, then he hits the ball with his head. But Kyle Walker was there, and to save it with that athleticism, with that precision. Like I was telling my little brother, we were watching this game while it was happening, and I was like, I don't even think I would think to do that in that instance. Like I know people would do it, but like I don't know if I could do it like that gracefully. Like it looked so athletic, it looked so nice, you know. Like I don't think I could move that fast and then like hit it first time just like that and then fall. I don't know. Right, things like that, whatever. But ultimately the game went into penalties after this, but Claudio Bravo became the hero, saving I think it was a shot from, or not a shot, but it was a shot, but a penalty from Gigi Wijnaldum. And I think Gigi Wijnaldum was trying to put it towards the middle, but he ultimately ended up hitting it towards kind of his left, Claudio's right. And he read that easily, and then basically all the penalties were made until the end, where it was just Gabriel Jesus against his compatriot Allison, and him just knowing how to hit him. He just basically hit it towards the right, I think, and that was it. That was game right there. Manchester City won the Community Shield and penalties. They won 5-4, just with a Gigi Wijnaldum miss. And that was basically all the game. I didn't think it would go to this not extra time, but to penalties. I ultimately thought that Manchester City was going to score another goal because I don't know. I saw the fullbacks being. I just saw Liverpool being kind of sluggish, you know, especially in that first half where the fullbacks were getting caught out of position and things like that. But I thought they were going to score more goals. Liverpool got more into the game in the second half, and they were able to get one back, but it wasn't enough, you know. And maybe they may be contending for the league, Liverpool, but I still think kind of Manchester City is going to win it again. That's kind of a prediction, but I may make a prediction video on that. But this is basically all I got to say for this game. I hope you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and peace out.